Hi everyone, Taylor from Klue here. Today we're going to be talking to you about how you can use Klue's MCP server to not only act as a source of truth for your teams on all their competitive enablement and intel needs in the tools that they already work in, but how you as a curator or admin can actually use the MCP tools to help create and update content in Klue that can enrich your entire team's workflows. So today we're going to use a fairly basic example. We're going to assume that we are working for Pied Piper Tech, a fictional competitor of PayPal and Square. And we have recently been getting a lot of questions on this new MCP integration. We're going to keep this very meta. And we want to create a comparison for our sales teams to show that this isn't simply an area where we have matching capabilities. There's actually a number of things that Pied Piper does that PayPal does not, and we want to solidify that comparison. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to copy this content, and I'm going to pull it into ChatGPT, just like I would anything else. I'm going to say, I'm going to drop this in, and then I can say, we're getting a lot of questions about this new MCP capability and how they compare to ours. Please use the docs below to create a concise seller-ready summary for Pied Piper's capabilities. Please pull from the Pied Piper board in, and I'm going to say Klue content admin. So I'm going to click on this, and this response is using, there we go. This is using a pre-configured connector, which we have a separate video on how you set up. And these are items that, the Klue card search MCP is a tool that can answer competitive intel or competitive enablement questions for any user using the most basic scopes in Klue. And it's available to sellers, admins, curators, etc. The content admin MCP is only available to admins and curators and is what we're going to be using today. And that includes the ability to create and update cards. So in this case, it's created this. Okay, this is great. I can look through this. I can chat with it right in ChatGPT. I could refine it a little bit using this. And now what I'm going to do is say, great, please add that as a card into the PayPal board in Klue MCP content admin. And the tool is now going to call Klue's MCP create and update endpoint. It's going to check to see if there are any existing cards that are in this. You can also prompt it to do that yourself, or prompt it to do anything else that would require it to read, create, and update cards. And then from here, it's going to actually ask, in this case, confirmation for you to come in and say, do you want me to create a card? It's going to ask for approval approval. I'm going to say yes. Please do that. Please save me a lot of time in getting this into Klue and ultimately making our source of truth there even more reliable than it currently is. Great, it's created. Let's go and check. So I'm going to refresh the PayPal board here, and I'm going to go through, and you can see there's lots of Compete Agent Auto Insights cards and a bunch of stuff over here. And I'm going to look at the very end. Product, Klue MCP versus Pied Piper, seller summary. And here you have a short, crafted, curated piece of content that will help enable our sellers. I didn't have to come into Klue to do this extra legwork. I was able to refine this in a tool that I am already working in. And ultimately, I can not just use this to create content, I can also pull in existing content and update it. So when there are things such as internal documentation changes, when new case studies or new feature capabilities are announced internally, I can drop those docs into whatever AI tool that I currently work in, as long as it supports MCP. I can configure this option, and then I can come in and supercharge Klue from whatever tools I'm already using. And that's Klue's Create and Edit Content MCP.